seeing pictures of the Duke of Cambridge and the Duchess here emerging from the aircraft from where I'm standing. You can see them coming down the stairs to greet the Chief of the Defence Force, General David Hurley, and his wife, Mrs. Linda Hurley.
And Kate, always looking fabulous. I'm sure you've seen a few of these different frocks over the past week and a bit. Selena, what are your thoughts here?
Well, from where I'm standing, I can see that it's a white dress with some kind of pattern. I have to emphasise, Aaron, that as part of the media, we are kept a long, long way away. But I am anticipating, I can tell you, a text message very shortly to tell me exactly who the Duchess is wearing today. That's the normal chain of events here and how it works. I remember when Prince William was here, we used to get a text message about who he was wearing. Now they seem to ignore him. It's all about the Duchess of Cambridge, Aaron.
Yeah, very much so. Selena, I was hoping you could help me out a bit better than that because I'm not very good at this sort of thing. But certainly I've read that over the past few weeks, every time she steps out, the sales go up and in fact are sold out online.
Let's just pause for the national anthems. The Duke of Cambridge now moving to inspect the Royal Guard. The Duke and Duchess have been met by the Chief of the Defence Force, General David Hurley, and his wife, Linda Hurley. Mrs. Hurley will be remaining with the Duchess as well, and they will then progress to another point, Aaron, as I'm watching here, as I'm watching the Duchess move from where she is, whilst the Duke of Cambridge, which I can just make out, is now making his way along the Royal Guard. Here's the fly past. No mistaking that sound. FA-18 Super Hornets, 4 of them flying in formation overhead here. A great welcome to RAAF Amberley for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. If you're just joining us, you're watching live pictures coming to you from Amberley Air Base near Ipswich in Queensland. This is the only day of the Royal Tour for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge to Queensland, but certainly, Aaron, you would say that given the response from Victoria about being left out of the Royal itinerary, I think Queenslanders are pretty happy to be hosting the Royal couple today.
The past couple of years. He's been here a few times, went up to Kerrang to meet some of the survivors of bushfires there, and also went to some of the bushfire affected areas after Black Saturday as well. So I certainly think that a lot of Victorians, we have seen them before. We would of course love to have seen them before again and of course meet baby George, but here we are watching the Prince as he's inspecting the guard, having a chat with a couple of the soldiers there. And a beautiful day, Selena, as I was mentioning, a top of 28 degrees expected for Brisbane. He's probably a bit warm under that jacket, I'd imagine.
Indeed, I think it has been very hot, but for Prince William, of course, he's just got off that aircraft. For the Guard of Honour here and the band, an extremely hot day standing out on the tarmac here, but they are well used to it, and this is RAAF Amberley. They are used to it being extremely hot, so no signs of anyone being under pressure from the weather at the moment, although you would expect on these occasions sometimes that does happen. Now, I can tell you from where I'm standing now, I've just seen the Duke of Cambridge come into the picture here. We can just see him from where we are in this media area. And now we also can see the Duchess of Cambridge chatting with Mrs. Linda Hurley there also, as the Duke heads round to inspect the band. Now, of course, we've had the fly past by the FA-18 Super Hornets. They made an incredible noise. And as you mentioned, Aaron, the royal couple are going to be taking a simulator ride in one of those aircraft simulators. They'll be participating in that, and that's sure to be quite an occasion. The Duke of Cambridge, of course, no stranger to the Air Force. He retired last year after 7.5 years, and his latest role, he was a search and rescue helicopter pilot. But certainly we have seen this very much as a theme of this royal tour of New Zealand and Australia. The Duke of Cambridge attending various aircraft museums in New Zealand, a keen observer of vintage aircraft as well, and now he is here at RAAF Amberley, and no doubt they are thrilled to have him here. The Chief of the Defence Force, General David Hurley, is just standing off to one side as we watch the Duke of Cambridge walking over, inspecting the band there, and coming over to where the Duchess of Cambridge is now standing with the Chief of Defence Force and his wife. There are other dignitaries here as well. I can tell you, Aaron, the Governor of Queensland, Penelope Wensley, is there. Also, the Premier Campbell Newman and his wife, the Defence Minister, Senator David Johnson, and other dignitaries too, members of the Defence Force hierarchy that are here. And throughout this visit, the royal couple are going to be meeting with them and having some moments with some of the bereaved families that have been asked to come here to have a meeting with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And again, we're going to see that being a more private event.